Well, hey Gemini, how about a reading from your metal dog? We're going to look at what all these retrogrades might be bringing back to your attention here. A revisit. So it'll be a 5-card baseline spread here of what you want to release, what you want to embrace, what we revisit here in this retrograde time. Both Saturn and Mercury are going to be, well, Saturn is in retrograde, Mercury's coming in here soon, and in addition to likely trouble with communication and technology, you also get an opportunity to look again at the ground that was covered in the time when those planets were just recently moving forward. What the tarot wants you to know, that'll be the 4th card. Some hidden influence that you may not be aware of. And finally, the future. What will happen should you choose to take this advice or something like that. So let's see here what the tarot wants to tell you, Gemini. We're going to go with the Urban Tarot. It's a Thoth-inspired deck. And we will see what it wants to tell you. That's it. Let's see. Let's get down to business. Okay. First of all, what are you to release, Gemini? Okay, justice. An idea of justice, an obsession with it, a need for justice. Perhaps some kind of legal situation that you're in. So we'll find out what you need to release here in terms of justice. I know I personally am never going to release justice or the ideal of it, but sometimes I can get a little obsessive. Okay, now you want to embrace power. 4 of Pentacles. It's a card that I often have thought of as like petty control, grabbing a hold of your wealth. But we're being told to embrace this here. So maybe there's some sense of your power that you need to grab a hold of and own in your quest for justice. All right. We want you to revisit the Hanged Man. Okay. So recently, were you in a place where you had a new revelation, like where you saw something from a different perspective? That's what I feel like you went through being in the Hangman. You thought you got the new perspective, the surrender, but now the cards and the stars are saying, let's look at that again for some reason. We'll find out why. That's interesting. What the tarot wants you to know, it's hidden here for you, is the Queen of Cups, the therapist. Do you need therapy, Gemini? No, this is just... So the cards want you to know something here about the Queen of Cups. Very receptive, good listener, supportive, nurturing, watery, emotional support, the therapist. Also good, very open, good at talking back too. I don't tend to think of therapists as always opening up, but we can imagine that the Queen of Cups is emotionally mature, right? She's had a life. She knows what she knows because she's lived, and she's conscious of her feelings, and therefore she can offer you guidance here. So we can see this person, this card is from the perspective, you can see the shoes here, I just noticed those, of the person who's talking to the therapist. So that's the openness about your emotions here. So maybe you need to go to therapy, maybe you need to deal with your emotions. Justice and power as your release and embrace suggests that you are in the swords, in the mind, in the things. And you might need to look at your feelings. We'll see. Your future self is, wow, the Prince of Wands, the journalist. Very alpha, very confrontational. Okay. I have a story that's coming through for me here. We'll clarify and see what comes up here. Yeah, victory over heartbreak is what so the bottom of the deck, we get ruin and we get victory. Ten of Swords, painful ending, victory over that. This is probably the situation that you came to a surrender in some way to however you resolved this Ten of Swords, this painful ending. When you were in this, I feel like you just recently kind of worked through something like that. And yeah, it led to justice. You taking some kind of action or attitude of justice like that. It leads to in the future, like still a confrontation here. So what's the difference between what we're releasing here and grabbing hold of owning your power? That's what I feel like this is saying. And then we see you in your future self, very much in your power, in your passionate truth, like it's Prince of Wands. It's like willpower. It's your alpha. You're like that. And then somehow therapy's involved. So that's pretty obvious little story here where you thought something was resolved. You went into a justice is blind. You kind of are withholding your sword here, real tight, holding on to that, focusing like crazy on being balanced. I actually feel like this reading is like you got hurt and you are being too nice and you should own your power and let that therapist help you feel your feelings and come from your heart, from your passion, from your wands here and speak your truth. That's what I feel like this is a somehow victory over this pain lies in you not being so nice, but instead confronting this. Wow. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's find some help from another deck here. We'll use the Light Seers. Quite a little story. So who hurt you, my dear? Who hurt you? Who are you being super nice to even though they suck? That's what I feel like this is. It could be a person, it could be an institution. It's something that you're confronting in the future once you relook at your surrender here. Okay, all right, justice. What is this release? Why release justice here for Gemini? Betrayal. You got betrayed. That is a lot of pain. It kind of is similar to this feeling, except this is further along in the process. When you face it's over. You can still go back for more when you're in a Three of Swords. Why you would go back for more, but many of us do for years go back for more. Because you're trying to see things from their perspective. But you might want to release that because it hurts. Communication, passion, action. This is the same as this is the hidden influence, the Queen of Cups, the therapist. You are in pain. But your solution to your pain is surrender. It's like, okay. Underneath this beautiful, calm, meditative facade, and I feel it is a facade, it's actually like a discipline, even though I don't see the strength card. This is how you feel inside. You have a lot of energy on this. That's why, because ouch, it hurt. Look at her. Look how she hurts. Look how grim that scene is. Love how the heart is tied up with strings. Because when somebody hurts you, you can feel it. I mean, sometimes it feels like a knifing, and I see the cuts in this heart as well. But the reason they hurt and the reason that you're still stuck in this anguish is because you're still attached emotionally, and so therefore you're trying really, really hard to maintain your balance, to be your best Queen of Cups self, all zen. But the thing is, you're pissed. And I feel like when somebody hurts you like that, Three of Swords, being angry and having a lot of energy and passion on that is normal. It makes sense to have that. Okay, so embrace owning your power. Embrace your power. The reason that you are having to take this posture of surrender, I think, because that's what we're going to revisit. Surrender, the hangman, a perspective that you came to in order to weather this. You feel all those strings to your heart, and you're not ready to be free. And in order to be ready to be free, you need to feel your feelings. That's why you need to go. That's why the therapist is here. The Queen of Cups is here twice now, and she knows her feelings. This queen she seems like she's coping with her pain by rising above. What's that Michelle Obama quote? They go low, we go high. Something like that. You're going high, right? And it's like this person is in uniform. I feel like that's really important. This gives me a sense of justice is really about being disciplined here. Very much reminding me of the Strength card, the position that you're in. Painful. There's a lot of energy behind it, but you're being all zen. So it says own your power. What else? What do we mean? What does it mean to own? What does Gemini need to do to own their power here? What's this about? Okay, so there's a Three of Pentacles. This is building with others. So you've built something with this person. That's why your heart's so connected. And I see these strings here. You see the strings that are much like the heartstrings here. That's why it hurts. It doesn't hurt if you're not attached. And I feel like we're seeing you built this with them. You built something here. You feel like your power is in this collaboration with this person that hurt you. And this is you. Awesome in your fire. Knight of Wands. Prince of Wands here in your future. This one's a lot more fun. This one seems like the King of Wands to me. He's called the Prince of Wands, but I think he's the king in this deck. And there's no king in this Urban Tarot, which I love. So he's very in the alpha. She's in the passion party. This could be your other person. Sometimes the Knight of Wands gets read as somebody who's kind of all about sex, and they could be kind of a player. Let me look again. Let's keep looking here. And then there's a Three of Cups. Okay. Reconciliation, friendship, but Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups. A very simple reading here is that you got cheated on by your person. That is enough for you to own your power. Face that. That's the thing that will get you out of this pain and out of this sort of martyrdom that is, it's very heroic what you're doing with this justice. Queen of Cups, surrender. Like you feel this strongly. You feel really powerful emotions because somebody has betrayed you. It looks like a simple, boring old cheating story here. Somebody was a player. And in that, like, never look away from the harm that they did, and in that lies your power. As much as it's a place that ultimately you will want to move out of, but if you built a life together, like a career and your business is wrapped up, as the Three of Pentacles would suggest, or there's like a family that you've built, or this is your best friend, this person that betrayed you with another person, or with work, they could be a workaholic, right? They could be, there's something else that they pick over your relationship, over you, and you constantly feel pain, betrayal. It's because you love them, and you feel tied to them through these strings, right? Even she's energetically connecting here. But if you focus on the betrayal, it will help you be pissed enough to leave. But what you chose to do instead, we know, and you're being asked to revisit this here by the tarot, you chose to surrender, chose to hang out, try to look at it from their perspective or something like that. You found huge compassion, huge balance. You're willing to take a huge amount of pain, even though they're betraying you with something. It could be an addiction. Workaholism is an addiction. It's somebody who would rather work than feel. And if you're their person, their lover, their friend, their kid, and they're working their life away, they're avoiding their feelings with you. The point is to avoid feeling intimate. And on the bottom here we have a Four of Wands. This is what you want. This is why you stay. They can't do that if they're in a threesome with somebody else, or addicted to work, or, they got the third thing, whatever that is. They can't give you a Four of Wands because they're doing something else. And that part of the point of that, believe it or not, if you're like me and you're like, all I want is the true love thing, you'll meet a lot of people on that journey who show you, well, maybe that isn't what I want because I keep picking somebody that abandons me for whatever. Anyway, so let's see. What's this Hangman? Whew. Man, these readings right now are really causing me to dig into painful memories. So to me, that shows me that you're in pain. And I see that here on the table as well. I'm really sorry. Okay, the Chariot. This is what we're re-looking at something here. Some kind of momentum. It's quite a different energy from the Hangman. So like riding the fuck away from surrender is what I'm getting here. But let's see. Because you still feel abandoned and sad. If you keep going in the way you're going, that's your destiny. And instead, we want you to feel this way, victorious. This is underlying energy here of this whole reading, victory. We want you to win the race here, my dear Gemini. We want you to move on and know this is over. 10 of Swords. That's over, baby. That's dead. That is dead. It's time to bury it. It's really very... I saw this in, another reading, and it was the machine-like quality of this. It's really out of your power, this kind of hurt, this ending. It's out of your power. Victory lies in getting on your chariot. Surrender is often the best advice, but surrender doesn't mean that you stay. Surrender can mean, all right, this person is hurting me, and I accept that. They can't do anything but hurt me. And that doesn't mean I stay. I leave. They're not going to change. I accept that, right? If I stay, this is what it feels like. You notice there's a lock in that door. There's a key right next to that door. You don't have to stay. You actually have the wherewithal to leave, even though I see all the heartstrings here. I see passion and friendship and collaboration here. I get it. I get it. If the Lovers came in here, I wouldn't be surprised. But let's see. What's hidden from you? The Therapist, Queen of Cups. This emotional journey, emotional knowing, opening up about your feelings, facing the truth. It's more about facing what you feel here. Swords are the obvious truth, but you're feeling a lot, honey. Okay. The Therapist. What else? Ooh, Emperor. Being decisive. That's who's talking to that therapist, a decisive person. Happiness, the Sun. Wow. Deciding to choose your happiness. And facing the truth. Ace of Swords. You know the truth. When you look at your feelings, the way becomes clear. The truth is obvious. And your happiness depends on you being as decisive as the Emperor. And the future is you confronting somehow this Prince of Wands or King of Wands. Very much like the Emperor, very alpha, very full of will and strength and passion, righteous. Journalists aren't always, they can be a little schmarmy. But this person, it's okay. You know what you believe when you're this person. Even if, okay, so this could be like a Fox News guy. Sure, they're hustling some sick fake news over there, but I actually think some of the journalists believe what they're saying. Maybe this is the person that hurt you, because I'm having trouble with the journalist right now. I don't always. Yeah, this is a confrontation in the future. Let's see. I can see how you might need to come to confrontation from this reading. You'll be victorious. You got the momentum of the Chariot. You know your pain, you're feeling it. Therein lies the truth that will help you be decisive towards your happiness. What else? There is the kind of dilemma, balance, which purse. One's obviously clearer than the other. One's more of an idea. That's very 3D. So what's my life going to be like is a question. More, what do I choose? What's real? These are my emotions. 7 of Cups. I have choices. Which are real, which are fake, which are illusions, which are projections. And Ace of Cups. Know your heart. You know what's true. You know the gift that you are. You know your capacity for love and what you deserve. Gemini, the future is a confrontation with, okay, yeah. To reinforce that, there's something about your security here. Your security, your sense of security and abundance, your very 3D practical life. And your doubt that you can go it alone, that you can have that without this person. There's all the emotional ties, but there's also clearly lots of pentacles. You've built something together. I feel like in the future there is some kind of a very difficult conversation. Your person isn't going to be easy to have that conversation with. That's a part of what's intimidating you from facing your feelings and knowing your truth. But, you can, with help of this therapist, who helps you know your heart, whether you do that by yourself or with the help of a therapist type person, or you are the Queen of Cups who is emotionally mature. It leads you to this Emperor. This person, once you look at your feelings, you can stand up to this kind of, nobody wants to break up. I still have nightmares that I didn't break up with some of my exes, because it's just very scary to have that conversation. There's just no right time for that conversation. You go over and over and over it. But I see you in the future choosing overcoming the devil, being the King of Pentacles yourself, having a lot of like certainty in who you are and what you deserve, and remembering like that the divine has your heart and your best interest at heart. So I see that in your future after a difficult conversation where perhaps you feel disoriented. When the devil comes up here, like you're struggling with self-worth, Gemini. There's never any question in the tarot reader's mind, no matter who you are a gift. And the cards reiterate that. You deserve to be respected, loved, and if you're not in that kind of situation, whether it's a partnership or a friendship or where you work, it's emotionally hurting you. You have a lot of Wands energy here, right? You have anguish. So Gemini, don't be too nice. Don't be too nice. Take care of yourself. Feel this momentum. But sometimes it's really good to have the Chariot energy of like pure will, just riding forward through your fear of this person. That's what I know. This voice in your head that says you're not good enough. You are good enough. You are. Look at you. You don't need anybody. You got a cool dog. Trust me. Hanging out with your cool dog is way better than hanging out with somebody that makes you feel like this. Okay. You have the key. Use it. That's just my advice to you. It's what the cards want you to know. Happiness lies in being the emperor here. Being very, very much like, I don't really like the emperor usually because he's very structural. He's kind of domineering. Same with the King of Pentacles. But I've been pulling it lately, or at the end of my school semester. I had some decisions. I needed to be decisive. I needed to value myself and be in my power. Cards want you to embrace your power. It's reiterated here. You have a beautiful heart. So, simple, clear cut message. Good luck, Gemini.